Good evening, everyone. So last night, the New York City primaries decided who will fill Jerry Nadler's seat in Congress. Here's his seat. Jerry says he's retiring to spend more time doing what he loves, his pants. Meanwhile, three anti-Semitic leftists endorsed by New York City Mayor Mandami won their Democratic primaries. And they're already getting to work, planning to replace the New York Marathon with the running of the Jews. He liked it. Meanwhile, a Brooklyn escort service is charging World Cup soccer players up to $10,000 an hour. Why so steep a price? Because it takes them 2 hours to score. It's what happens when you can't use your hands. Earlier this week, the Montana Highway Patrol pulled over a car modeled after a banana. "Let me know if you need some place to park it," said one man. On this day in 1664, the colony of New Jersey was founded. Coincidentally, 1664 is how much Chris Christie weighs. I don't know. A skateboarder, get this, a skateboarder traveled coast to coast across the United States in just 39 days. Yeah, he took a bus. A man trying to retrieve his glasses fell into a campground toilet. It was stuck for 15 minutes before a rescue team pulled him out. But he decided to jump back in when he heard Rosie O'Donnell is filling in for Jimmy Kimmel. Gotta wake you guys up. Finally, a white couple was given the wrong embryo at an IVF clinic, and their newborn baby came out Asian. They knew something was up when the baby started cleaning and folding his own diaper.
Oh, racist would say.
All right. So the White House released a report revealing how far rents in a bunch of American cities have fallen. It's great news, because for the last few years, the only one enjoying affordable housing in America was President Trump, living rent-free inside Democrat heads. But for years, we were told that high rents were caused by greedy landlords, developers, and investors, or late-night talk show hosts bulldozing low-income homes for their helicopter pads. Meanwhile, the obvious cause was right in front of us, an open border letting the population of a small country walk right in. It's something sensible people understand. It's called supply and demand. Like when the demand for room and board goes up because millions flood in looking for room and board. Or when the price of gerbils skyrockets because one mysterious man moves into town. And now that deportations have hit over 2.5 million under Trump and the border's sealed, rents are going down faster than Don Lemon on a first date. Get this. Austin down 21.5%, Phoenix down 13.8%, San Antonio 13.5%, and it's down nearly 4.5% nationally after years of surging. Suddenly, landlords are offering all sorts of stuff like free months of rent, gift cards, and a free shot at their wife. Hell, even homeless bums can afford their own place. Now, I'm no economist. I went to college just to play women's basketball. But even I understand cause and effect, supply and demand, incentives and disincentives, that every policy has a trade-off. So you want cheap labor from illegals, you'll pay for it somewhere else. And here it's rising rent. Because when demand goes up, so do the prices. And when demand goes low, so do the prices. It's why my 7-year-old nephew was able to get Geraldo to do magic tricks at his birthday party. Yet for years, we were told there was no connection between an open border and housing costs. But now illegal immigration ceases. Vacancy rates go up. Landlords compete for tenants, and the rent drops. It's easy to explain, to us anyway. But to an AOC or a Mamdani, it's like explaining a moment of silence to Judge Jeanine. In fact, a new poll found that 73% of Dems say illegals should be allowed to stay and apply for citizenship. Fine. It's a dumb position, but at least admit that what you're incentivizing, higher rents, lower wages, burden schools and public services. Don't insult us by pretending these extra millions of people don't affect anything. It's like saying the thousands of Scottish soccer fans flooding the U.S. right now aren't affecting beer sales. Or the thousands of German soccer fans aren't increasing support for Graham Plattner. Or the thousands of French soccer fans aren't creating a demand for Febreze. It's basic cause and effect, which runs counter to brain-dead virtue signaling. That's the difference between Dems and Republicans. We understand incentives, they don't. But then again, we understand fifth-grade math, and they don't. It wasn't always like this. Dems used to get it. You flood the labor market, American workers suffer. You screw Americans on wages, housing, education, health. But now they don't care. They can't even admit it's a bad thing. Or maybe they don't know what's bad anymore. Because unless you send the problem to Martha's Vineyard, out of sight keeps them out of their minds. Let's welcome tonight's guest. He gets his house cleaned by going to the car wash. Host of the Loftus Party podcast, Michael Loftus. We promised her dad we'd get her home by 11. Correspondent at The Federalist, Brianna Lehman. People see his clothes and ask if he works at the Bing Crosby Museum. Fox News contributor Tom Shalhoub. And on windy days, she stuffs her pockets with rocks. New York Times bestselling author, Fox News contributor Kat Jim. Dude, this is like great news for you as a homeless guy, you know, basically drifting from boxcar to street. Are you going to take advantage of the lower rent? Are you excited?
I'm pretty excited. I'm putting in some offers at some places. Yeah. I still have my cardboard box, and I'm thinking about adding a pallet deck to it now that the weather's nice.
Yeah.
Just have a little place to lay out and get some sun on my shiny parts.
Yeah, that's true, man. But when you add a pallet, you get a kind of you develop a pallet attitude. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I don't want to be that guy.
Yes.
I'm cardboard box through and through. I love that rents are coming down. It's undeniable that Trump's plan is working and that deporting people is good. It's got to be frustrating for him. He's got to be sitting around. And I don't do a Trump impression. I do Christopher Walken, so everyone buckle up. But he's got to be sitting at home. It is supply and demand. Do you want less traffic? Then you want less cars. You want ice, ice, baby. Do you want rent to come down? You need less renters. You want ice, ice, baby. It's so good, I wrote a knock-knock joke. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Ice. Ice who? You can threaten me with legal action, but you still have to go home to your country. That was fantastic, and you'll appreciate it later.
It went over my head, Brianna. It seems like this is an easily digestible development. The border closes, rent drops. It might be what they call a teachable moment for Democrats to go like, oh, this is how it works. Will it?
I don't know. And think of what else can happen if we continue mass deportations. It's also funny because we've heard from the government that we have to buy up all the beautiful forests and our beautiful plains to make housing development. It's like, actually, I have a better idea. Let's leave the wildlife and our wild areas alone. I think the environmentalists would love that. And let's just deport the illegal aliens. Like, it is a slam dunk, easy win. And today, just alone, the Road to Housing Act, Congress passed that. They will do everything but the easiest thing to do to solve a problem. Instead of having the government tell who can buy land, who can't, who can develop houses, who can't, just deport the people that shouldn't be here.
Yeah, but I do think you should still build more because trees are overrated.
Who needs oxygen?
I mean, also, I don't think Trump didn't sign that thing, did he?
Not yet.
No, he didn't. He decided not to. Tom, you look fantastic.
Thank you, Greg.
Yeah. You're like one of those fancy chocolates I'm not sure to bite into because I might get a big ball of cherry splashed into my face.
You will, Greg.
That'll be arteries, though. What do you make of this?
Many great points, Greg. And it's so interesting because you sent me today a bunch of clips of Democrats all being pro-border, right? Chuck Schumer, Bill Clinton, Hillary used to be tough on the border. They all used to come out and talk about it. And I looked at these clips and I was looking for evidence of Democrats being against illegal immigration, and it all stopped after Trump came down the escalator and he said they're not sending their best, and then everyone said he was racist, right?
Yes, I even said that, but I was wrong.
Yes, and so, but that's the thing. Democrats now, they're trapped. They used to be able to come out, and they would, someone like Bill Clinton, he knew he could win an election if he came out and he talked tough on crime and he said we need to enforce our border. And he did win that election. He won a re-election. And Democrats can't do it now because they've already said, according to their own philosophy, being against illegal immigration means you're a racist. So they can't do it anymore. And so, yeah, there's a lot of people, and Trump has to hold the line on this because, like you mentioned, in the Texas Home Builders Association, they were just at the White House trying to lobby him to ease up on this because the Texas Home Builders Association, they love illegal immigration because half of their workers are all the home builders are all Mexican because they come over the border. Same thing. So you got the home builders, you've got the big farms, you've got the trucking association. They're all lobbying Trump to stop what he's doing, and he has to hold the line. We talked about empathy a lot this week. You can empathize. You can empathize with the people who want to make a better life. You can also empathize with businesses who want the cheap labor. But we have to hold the line, and we have to say, you know what? Empathy for you will hurt Americans in our own country. So hopefully he will not give in to lobbyists.
I think, Kat, this is like the bigger story. No matter where you are on the immigration issue, it's about what Tom was talking about, which is a Thomas Sowell. You love Thomas Sowell, one of the greatest writers of all time. The idea of trade-offs. It's like everything has a trade-off. You could be, if you're against immigration completely, you're going to get hurt. If you're for open borders, you're going to get hurt. There's a trade-off for everything. But Dems don't consider trade-offs in any equation.
I think that the immigration conversation is one of many in politics where it's hard to have hope, sadly, that it gets solved because people like to ignore the trade-offs. If you, for example, even just this study saying, okay, this was it 73% of Democrats said they want them to be able to stay. To me, that's missing such a huge part of what the conversation's even about. Because of course the MAGA position is, if you're illegal, you should go. There's also others who might think, okay, maybe if you're going to contribute to the economy, and maybe if you're here and you're peaceful, I don't want you to spend money supporting you. Or you always say, if you're hot, you can stay.
Yes.
That's a no-brainer.
But it ignores the fact that the Democrat position is also saying that's not enough. That you also have to pay for these people's lives, and you have to pay for their health care, and you have to pay. So for some people, it's more of a welfare issue than anything else.
Yes.
And we all know how not efficient government spending can be. So these programs just become money pits. And so if you notice that, then you're this sort of person. These conversations have nuance. Every single policy has consequences that might be unintended. And we have to have more discussions about that stuff, but unfortunately, that's not what creates the viral clips that most politicians are after.
You were one of the first people that said to me, you cannot have an open border and an open border and a welfare state. You can't have those two things because you can have, if you want to have a welfare state, you have to close the border because you can't support people coming in. But if you want an open border, you got to have like everything, just free markets, nothing else, which I'm for.
Yes.
Also, hot illegals.
Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.